Hi, today I'm going to show you how to make Hainanese chicken rice the easy way. So let's start off with the chicken preparation first. Now typically it is for myself, for one person I would use the entire thigh and drum together like this to cook it. However, today I'm cooking for two. So in order to put in more pieces of chicken in the pressure cooker, I need to cut up the pieces first. Now to separate the thigh with the drum is pretty easy. What you need to do is you turn the chicken around at the back part of it. You will notice a natural white layer of fat between the thigh and the drumstick. Now that is where you're supposed to cut to separate the two. So what you do is you take a sharp knife, you go in between, follow the line and cut it down. It comes off very naturally, and that's how you separate the thigh and the drum. The next important ingredient for Hainanese chicken rice is of course garlic. If you love garlic, you can add lots of it. I do. Now you can use the minced garlic that you can buy from cold storage, NTUC. It saves you the trouble of trying to mince it yourself. Or for me, I have fresh garlic, so I'm going to use it now. However, I'm not going to mince the garlic because minced garlic tends to burn when you fry it later. So I'd rather have whole garlic like this, and I'll crush it to release the flavor. So you can do it with just a knife, put it on top of the garlic and just give a quick tap. You can see that the garlic has flattened out, but not exactly crushed, and this is good enough. Of course, you can't cook chicken rice without pandan leaf, so just take a stalk, fold it up into a knot, whichever knot you want that can fit into the pressure cooker, and that'll be good enough. The first thing you need to do is to sear the chicken. What you do is to go to the pressure cooker, turn the knob to high sear mode. Of course, press the cooking time, put it to about an hour. That should be enough for searing. Then go to start. Now let the pot heat up before you put in the oil. Okay, when the pot is warm, you can feel it warm here. Add in a little bit of oil. Now remember, for normal Hainanese chicken rice, you do not fry or sear the chicken at all. You only broil the chicken and it's ready for consumption. However, in this case, because we need the chicken flavor to be infused with the rice, we don't have the chicken broth from boiling the chicken in this case. So I'm going to sear the chicken to get the chicken oil out into the pan so that I can fry the rice with that oil. One reminder, when you handle raw chicken, remember to wash your hands frequently and do not touch other things when holding raw chicken. Okay, I think the oil is about ready. Take the first piece of chicken in there and then put it into the pan. You should hear a sizzling sound. Now, don't put in too many pieces at one go because you don't want the chicken to be braising in the oil if you put too many in there. So cook maybe 2 or 3 pieces at a go, okay? Okay, and just let it sit there and let it sear. As you're searing the chicken, you can see the chicken is releasing even more oil. And that's a good sign because you want the flavor of the fat from the chicken later on to use that to fry the rice before you cook it. Once you've seared for about a couple of minutes, you can just turn it over. You should see a sort of like a bit of yellowish, darker yellow color like this I'm seeing here. Now this is good enough because you don't really want to overcook or oversear the chicken. Alright. Again, remember, this is just to get the fat out of the chicken for the frying later. While the chicken is searing, start getting the rice ready. Wash the amount of rice that you want to cook for the meal. Wash it and then make sure that it's dry because you're going to be frying that with the oil from the chicken in a short while. Use the strainer after you wash the rice to remove all the moisture. After searing the chicken, you'll find that you have much more oil than you started off with. That's good. So the next thing you do now is to fry the rice. Now be careful when you put in the rice, because if the rice is still damp and the oil is hot, it might splatter. So just be very careful when you put it in, right? Now stir the rice around in the oil. Make sure that all the oil coats the rice well. Okay. Again, don't forget, you will not be getting the full flavor of the chicken from this chicken oil itself. You will need to use chicken stock later. Alright. Now once you put in the rice, a short while later you can pour in the garlic. Now remember, I told you earlier on, do not put in the garlic before the rice, because the garlic will burn. What you want is the garlic to infuse the garlic flavor, and you mix it with rice when you fry it. Do this for a few minutes until you find the rice to have a nice aroma coming from the pan. Okay, keep stirring the rice until you find that the oil has been absorbed by the rice. Now that's good. The next thing you do is to put in the chicken stock. Now the ratio of the rice to stock is 1:1 for the pressure cooker. When you're cooking rice, 1 part of rice to 1 part water is the ratio to be used. Now spread out the contents so that the rice is below the water level. Once that's done, the next thing you do is to put in the pandan leaf on top. Okay, then you lay the chicken pieces on top of the rice. Looks and smells delicious already. Okay, now that we have done that, next thing to do, cancel the searing mode. Cover the lid of the pressure cooker. Make sure that the liver is on seal. Now set the timer for 8 minutes pressure cook. Like we always do, set it to custom. Select cooking time. Select 8 minutes. Then press start. We're done. After the 8 minutes is done, remember to let it do a natural steam release for another 10 to 12 minutes. Then you can open the lid. After you've done a natural pressure release for about at least 10 minutes, the knob should have dropped. Okay, and you'll be very safe to open the lid. There you go. This is the Hainanese chicken rice. Hi, here is the completed chicken rice dish. Now, to complement the dish, here's another quick tip for you. You can go to NTUC. You can actually buy this thing called the garlic lime chili, as well as the minced ginger. So you don't have to start preparing the sauce for the chicken. These two combined goes very, very well with the chicken rice. And for some who are not actually Hainanese, they will also prefer to use dark soy sauce. That's totally up to you. Anyway, enjoy the dish.